fuck was that accent?
Hey there, I'm not Will Hirsch, but if science really screws up, I might be someday. It's finally time. It's time to review BBFirefly. This is a new launch of a new series we're calling, internally-ish, Bally Shorts. What are we gonna do in Bally Shorts? We're gonna review knives, hopefully a lot more quickly. Our normal reviews aren't going away, but these, we're gonna try to keep them structured a little bit, but also a little loosey-goosey. Except we're not gonna harm any gooses. Probably just each other a lot.
Aww.
How long have you been down there? So the BBFirefly, technically, I've owned this for like 5 or 6 months, and we're finally getting to review it. And we have actually quite a story to tell because we got a lot of them. A plethora of fireflies. You would not believe your eyes if it took us 6 months to review the BBFirefly, but you'd be right. It took us till this moment to make a fireflies joke.
How the fuck did that?
I've not thought about that until this moment. Bally Shorts, right? We're gonna do a review, but before we jump into the review, let's talk business. So that little doofus next to the camera, we were like, wow, we have a shockingly large amount of Balisongs that we need to review. But our videos take a really long time to make. Literally several days of shooting, several days of editing, lots of trial and error, lots of crazy visual effects. Those reviews aren't going away, but we were like, we wanna talk about more stuff and figure out a way that we can talk about it that's not just, it's good or it's bad. How can we be more specific and how can we compare and contrast things? So, Bally Shorts. Bally Shorts rating, BS rating. Can you trust it? I guess we'll fucking find out. So yeah, this is the official launch of us doing the BS rating. So we're gonna have 6 categories. We're gonna go from 1 to 10. All those points are gonna be added up between the different categories. 1 is like hot garbage, like spider knife level of garbage. Little tiny fucking spider on one handle. Oh, it's a code. It's a code.
This one's a nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare.
And then like 5 average would be something like a squiddy. There's one back there. It's too far away for me to grab. We don't have the budget for me to walk over there. We don't have the budget. That's like average-ish, or like a good Amazon Balisong. That's average-ish. And then we have like the crack-a-rackin'. That like in general is like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 range. But we'll discuss all that further. And if you want to know any information, we got stuff in the description. It's next to the like button. Ooh, manipulation. Subscribe. Everything's a facade, nothing's real.
Use your brain powers to make them subscribe. Oh my god.
That's it. It's finally time to talk about the BBFirefly. But we don't really have the budget for like some crazy visual effects gag or something. What if you do the awful like clock transition?
Oh, yeah,
what if we cut to B-roll with the fucking clock transition? Okay, first up, our first category in today's video, unboxing, AKA like first impressions. With BBFirefly, you get the Balisong and a little thing. Comes with a little thing with a little bit of protection and a little bit of a sleeve. And you get a bunch of stickers and an extra bottle opener in addition to the bottle opener. You can put it on your little keys. It's red. I like black and red. An average unboxing experience would be like most things you get from like Amazon or something like that. It's gonna come in a box and it's gonna come in a little sheath, but it's not anything personalized or special.
I like
they're
that
all white boxes.
It's a standard black sheath.
Where did those come
from?
Here's the thing. There's a bunch of numbers we're gonna give. 5 is average.
5 is average.
5 is average.
5 is
there seems to be, in the content we consume, there seems to be people think that like 7 or 8 is average, but if you're doing out of 10, 7 or 8 is pretty good. So 5 is average. So considering that 5 is average, as I desperately look at my notes, I'd consider like Squid Industries, they're slightly above average because you get some special stuff. So this, particularly because you get this little extra boy and a bunch of little stickers and all that good stuff, 7 out of 10. There's usable stuff in there. You used to get replacement hardware.
Yeah.
Now that's a separately sold thing. That would make me make an 8 out of 10 in terms of the stuff that you get. But this little extra boy and just the quality of it, yeah, 7 out of 10. Love you. So then the next category, we have tuning. This one's a little bit weird. So when I got it, no problems out of the box. No weird tap, no weird fucking noises it was making, nothing like that. But I went to figure out like, oh hey, can I adjust this by myself? And it wasn't really doing anything whenever I would twist the screws. And then I discovered there's like a bunch of locking material that they put on this like at their factory, which meant that it's definitely staying put where they had it and it was tuned well. I literally had to just kind of scrape all of it out to see if I could tune it by myself. But you don't really have to do that because all of the ones that we have all been like really great and held up really well and don't have any issues.
Yeah, I haven't even touched the pivots on that thing, and it's great.
Yeah, so this runs on bushing, so you really don't have to worry too much about like cranking away and just getting it to the exact tightness that you want. And so despite the weird stuff with all the locking material and everything like that, it still held up really, really well. So with that, we arrive at a score of 7 out of 10. An average would be like a Squid Trainer or like a Squid Industries Triton or anything that runs on washers that has to be Loctited, that we consider kind of an average experience. And this is definitely above average because it's held up really well. The durability. Overall, I think it's held up really, really well. All the various models we have, like this has had some nasty drops. And then there's like a few little small things, but nothing major for how severe the drops have been. Overall, it's really well built. It's held up really well. The color is still very pristine. All the major drops that I have haven't left any major marks or anything like that, so that's all great. Each model that we have has held up shockingly well.
It's got thick handles.
It's got thick handles, and that helps with the durability because it's a Chongus honker. Honestly, I give it a 9 out of 10. BBbarfly's products are generally just pretty friggin' durable. So let me tell you a story. So I sought out getting a BBFirefly out of my own, it was my own desire to get one. I didn't even know if we were gonna review it, but I wanted to get one. So I order one and I get it and I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my flipping thing. I have quite a few Balisongs and I'm comparing it and all that stuff. And then I'm doing the few tricks I know how to do and I start to chaplain. And I'm like, ow. Why ow? Why ow? Why? What? Why? Ow. Why does it ow? It shouldn't hurt when you chaplain. And I try like some of my other Balisongs and I do the same thing and it didn't hurt. Like at all. Like, this feels good. And I investigate the tang pin and then there's little tang cups and the edges of them are pretty sharp. And so I discover, oh, that's what's hurting because that is what's rubbing up against the finger while I'm doing a chaplain. That's a bummer. So I made an Instagram post about how there was a particular problem with the thing. At the Brandon Baker on Instagram. I'm a shill, nobody. So I posted about that on Instagram and then BBbarfly reached out and they're like, yo, what's going on? How can we fix it? So I tell them about the issue and they literally fixed the issue the same day. They fixed it.
They fixed it literally
the same day. Maybe that's because we have a YouTube channel and all that, but they were like, oh wow, that actually makes total sense. Can we send you a new one with the issue fixed? So they sent a second one. I didn't pay for this one. I did pay for this one, didn't pay for this one. And they fixed it. They rounded out the tang cups and it doesn't hurt to chaplain on this one. So that's not the whole reason that I ended up at a 6 out of 10, because this is a big old Chongus honker. It is a thick boy. You compare this to a lot of other Balisongs. It is a thick, large man. It should not be discriminated against, but it makes it a little bit weird and kind of unwieldy to flip. So it's definitely above average. It has most of the things that I would want in terms of like having a good amount of grip, due to all the cutouts and the holes and everything like that. If I were to suggest one thing, adding some kind of texture or like jimping, I think is what it's called. Jimping, some jimping. Yeah, so like the crack rack and it has this stuff on the outside, gives it some texture on the outside of the handles. This doesn't have any of that, so I think if they were to add some of that, so that's how I ended up at a 6 out of 10. It's above average. Compared to the BBbarfly Pro V2, unfortunately we don't have that because we think it was stolen. It disappeared and we don't know, but that thing was pretty small and this feels a little big. So I think in the future BBbarfly could kind of meet in the middle and have something that's a little more healthy middle, but they have a brand and it's big old thickness. So next up we have the availability score. It sounds kind of weird, but it's very important because the whole Balisong market, it's very weird. It ranges from being able to buy some random clone on Amazon or AliExpress or something like that to never being able to find something, and a Balisong maker made like 10 ever, and that's it. And you can't buy them. And then various different companies, they just kind of randomly drop stuff whenever things are ready. So availability we think is really important to talk about. So the BBFirefly and most of BBbarfly's products in general are like always available.
They're so consistent. It's crazy.
It's really crazy. So you can get this from their website and everything like that, but you can also get them on Etsy. They're all over Etsy.
And
I got this like
options.
You get tons of options. Yes, yes. So like look, we of course black and red because that rules all and everything else is worse. You could get all red and black, you could get red and gold, you could get green and gold, you could completely customize it, and all of those are available, like all the time. I don't know how they do it. BBbarfly, we did a series with Squid Industries where we toured how they make their Balisongs. You want to do that?
Hit me up.
We've never been to Canada before. Love to do it.
Love to do it.
Just had that thought just now, live, right now. I want to know
how you do it.
How these are always available, but they're always available on multiple different websites, multiple different avenues. They ship quickly. You don't have to wait for a drop or some very specific time frame and be there the second that it's there. So, what do we give it, Will?
I'd say that's a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 availability.
Woo!
This is the very first video that we're doing in this series, so I don't know where it's gonna go. That's gonna be hard to beat. It's gonna be hard to beat how available these are. Yeah. So finally we have the value score.
Oh God!
Will and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what's objective, what are our opinions, how can those mesh, and how can those come into a score. Value was the toughest one to narrow down. Value encompasses quite a few things, but it's really what quality of product are you getting for the price you're having to pay. And that ranges across a number of different Balisongs. For some you're getting, aluminum. For some you're getting titanium. For some you're getting something that's like entirely hand custom made. For some you're getting something that's like kind of mass manufactured, but still has a lot of individual tinkering and tuning and all that kind of stuff. BBFirefly and BBbarfly in general has a pretty good track record of offering Balisongs that are made well, that have good service, and flip really nicely. And so it starts at $165 if you're getting like the same colored handle. If you want mismatched handles, it's $180. For under 200 bucks, this is a really good value, especially like the stuff you're getting in the box and the ability to customize, because you're not only customizing the color, they got 3 handle types. 2 of them are a bottle opener. The other one's not, it's just a trainer blade, but they all have a particular design language and you can mix and match. So for under $200, that's hard to find in the Balisong world. Generally, the best you can do is pick the color you want, right?
Yeah, no,
and then you're kind of stuck.
Selection normally.
That's something I just thought of too. This is a really unique thing.
Yeah,
so in terms of the value of it, like it's not like, oh, like I can't think of a single other Balisong that this is like.
No, it's not derivative at all.
Like,
the only thing it's derivative of is other BBbarfly stuff.
Yeah, it's other BBbarfly stuff. Other Balisongs you can kind of compare and contrast. This is really just kind of in its own league. And that to me has a lot of value. So yeah, 9 out of 10. So those are all the categories. All 6 categories down, we add up all those points. Maybe there's a graphic or something that shows up and we get a total score of, out of 60, 48. Which, in more digestible terms, is like an 8 out of 10. So it gets 48 points out of 60. Which of course begs the question, would I buy it? Whoops, I have already. Should you buy it? Honestly, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, especially with all the different bits of customizability that you can do, and you're getting an actual bottle opener, plus an extra bottle opener.
I think it's just a really good thing overall. I've had a lot of fun with the one that I have. Brandon's had a lot of fun with his. Like, it's good. It's not, as we said, it's a 6 out of 10 flipping experience, so not great.
Yeah.
But it's above average.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah,
it's on
it's very
bushings,
much above average.
It's fun. Have a little fun, Brandon.
I want to have fun.
Have some fun.
I want to have some fucking fun.
Oh, sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun. Why is my default humor death. A therapist could have a field day with me. If you want a big old comparison for a bunch of different Balisongs, we're gonna have a sheet, we're gonna have resources, so we can keep track of all that, because we're hoping that we can provide a pretty objective look at what is good, what is bad, what should you steer toward, what can you steer away from. We chose to not make a score for stuff like design, because design is totally subjective.
That's way too subjective.
Yeah, so that's where we're hoping these scores, if you like the design of something and maybe like the design of another thing, we hope these scores will allow you to pinpoint, you know, oh, well, this is a 9 out of 10 flipping, but this is a 7 out of 10 flipping, and that's what matters most to me, so maybe I'll go for that. That's what we're aiming to do here. Yeah, so we're looking forward to making more of these videos. Again, this format is not gonna replace our regular reviews or all of our other content. We're gonna try to make this in addition to everything else. We do have a full review coming. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, it's coming.
Arctic.
We're finally getting there. I wonder what the score is gonna be. Teasing, content, YouTube, death. So who do we have to thank? We have you to thank for watching this video and putting up with all the craziness that we offer up. Maybe click the like or the subscribe or the bell. Also, Patreon. We have one, and those people are really cool, and they help support us and help us get new stuff to review and help us not starve. So obviously I should guilt trip you into giving us money at just $3 a month. I'm really gonna nail that.
Yeah, really ride down the guilt gravy train here.
Food, water, atmosphere. So sincerely, thank you for watching. Thanks for supporting us. We have merch. It's a fox flipping a Balisong.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. This is all unscripted and I have no idea where to go from here. Cut to black.